Welcome back, Love Stylers. I'm Misty. Today we're going to be talking about beverage addiction. And do you have a beverage addiction? The only beverage addiction I approve is drinking a lot of water. And even that can be bad if you drink too much of it. I know, it's crazy. We like to talk a lot on this channel about how I lost 55 pounds and 8 sizes between the combination of the keto and carnivore diets in the last 4 years. And I also kicked my eczema, high blood pressure, and I also gave up alcohol at the same time. So if you clicked on this video, you may have a beverage addiction. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about beverage addictions. It's always food, sugar, and I do hear about alcohol addiction, which I had for years, and I'm going to talk about in a minute. But you may have an addiction to drinking diet soda, for example, which is a no in my book. I'm not that strict on this channel, guys, but diet soda, I say, just say no to. Because, I wore this shirt on purpose because it reminds me of the bubbles in diet soda. And I'm going to say this represents the bubbly, which is sparkling water. And that can be an easy pivot from diet soda. You can just pivot over to sparkling water. I like to talk about pivoting. Gary V, who I love. What's up, Gary V? He talks a lot about pivoting, and it just makes it sound easier than changing. A lot of us do not like change. We don't. And it's so funny because I always thought I was someone who loved change because I like a little bit of excitement in my life. But when it comes to changing my bad habits, I am very hesitant to do that. So I think all of us inherently, we get fearful when we think of changing. We fear that it's going to be a bad decision and that it's going to end up being worse than if we don't change. And that's kind of out there, guys, but this is how I think of things. So I'm addressing the first one, which is diet soda, especially if you're dieting. Especially if you're on a carnivore or keto diet. Some people are still drinking diet soda because it has 0 carbs. I hate diet soda. I hate diet soda in your life. Now, I don't even really know you, but I don't want you to drink diet soda, and I want you to consider pivoting from it. Even if you drink 3 diet sodas a day, okay? I want you to try to replace 1 diet soda with either a sparkling water or a regular water. Not tap water, either filtered or spring water, clean water. Choose your water carefully, guys, because there's even ingredients in water now, in bottled water. They're putting other harmful ingredients in there with the water. So choose your water carefully and read the ingredients. I'm not going to call out the company who did this because I'm afraid I might get sued. I don't know how this works. Just doing this one thing will make such a difference in your life. So I really feel like people who are not thriving on a low carb lifestyle, carnivore or keto diet, paleo, whatever diet they're on where they're trying to clean up their health, I feel like a lot of them are still including drinks, bottled drinks that have ingredients in them. If you feel like you are addicted to beverages, whether it be alcohol, diet soda, things with lots of ingredients, sweeteners, even protein shakes or protein drinks, Premier Protein, Gatorade Zero, Diet Zero this, Zero that, Red Bull, energy drinks, delicious coffee drinks. There are so many versions of beverages in the world today that you can just grab. And let me tell you guys, people don't talk about this enough, I feel like, especially in the diet space. It may not be the food that's hindering your weight loss progress or your journey into better health. It may be the actual beverages. How crazy is this? This isn't even food. This is in between meals that we're talking here. So I want you to start thinking about your beverages as food in the way that if you are drinking 3 times a day a certain beverage that has ingredients, that's just as bad as eating crappy food sometimes. Now, if that beverage is water, of course you have nothing to worry about. But if you want to talk about the most addictive beverage of all, which for me was alcohol, I will tell you my experience in a very short story. I drank alcohol for years. Now I'm 49 years old. I gave it up 4 years ago. So that leaves 45 years of my life. I probably drank 30 of them. Drinking alcohol at least 3 times a week, or even twice a week, or even more than that on some weeks, because you're working so hard and you want something to make you feel emotionally soothed, which is what gets us in trouble, guys, with food or beverages. You may indulge in alcohol, and alcohol will sludge up your body, your liver, and you will never be able to clear your organs from the inside out. I feel like beverage addiction is very, very much an emotional event. It's crazy to me how we can let a liquid have more control over us than ourselves. Is crazy to me. It's insanity. There are different reasons why we may turn to alcohol, for example. For myself, I think maybe it soothed me emotionally. And it was kind of a bad habit to just grab that drink after work. You had a rough day. And, it's kind of understandable. This world's not so easy to deal with at times. But drinking alcohol was a bad decision on my part so many times in my life. Over those 30 years of drinking, did nothing for what I'm trying to do now, which is to clear the crap out of my body. We may have deep-rooted childhood stuff that we may be trying to still get over. I have some stuff. We're not going to go into it on this video, but I feel like that has something to do with why I used to grab that wine, grab that rum, grab that beer a couple times a week for 30 years straight. I mean, it's going to catch up to you. And this can even be the case with diet sodas, which have so many ingredients. They're almost just as bad. Or the coffee drinks with all the crap in there and the corn syrup and the sugar. It's still sugar. It's still concentrated sugar, whether it's an alcoholic drink or a coffee drink or Gatorade Zero with all the sweeteners mixed together. There's so many different sweeteners in there. No one knows what these do to our body. But it's the soothing nature of some of these beverages that I think makes us feel like we're getting some kind of hug. And that's going really deep, guys, and going really wide. But I feel like there's emotional reasons why we do the things that we do. When it comes to addictions, and specifically today, addictions to beverages, it does something to our brain when we taste that on our tongue. And even with alcohol, when we get that feeling like we can forget about things for a while and we're indulging for a moment and we're just looking for a little hug from the universe. I even looked up why we are so addicted to the taste of things on our tongue. It turns out the taste receptors on your tongue have different areas that pick up different tastes, like continents and different spots on your tongue. I think the back is bitter and the front is sweet and the sides are something else. And then we have, salty. And then we also have heat. So I think we get addicted possibly to having a sensory experience while we're on this planet. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying something now and then. But when it becomes a subconscious habit, or if you start to think you need your diet soda to get you through to the next meal, I want you to think again and consider that that might just be like Groundhog Day, replaying in your mind day after day because you're used to doing it. And getting used to that taste on the tongue does something for the brain. And even coffee can do this. You know, the thing about coffee, I drink coffee. I have about 3 coffees a day in the morning, but I'm not ready to give it up because I'm still attached to that emotional nature, that emotional something that coffee gives me. I think I need it to wake up. And if I got down to it, it probably doesn't really do that. And I hear, you wake up for a moment and then you crash down and all of that. I'm not ready to give up my coffee yet, guys. So I'm just as guilty standing here telling you to try something to kick your beverage addiction and exchange your beverage for some water. And I am a hypocrite here because I drink coffee. Now, I'm fully aware of the fact that I'm addicted to coffee. I admit it. My name is Misty Marcus, and I'm addicted to coffee. But I'm also addicted to drinking my 7 cups of water a day. So hopefully that makes up for some of it. But I'm no different, and I'm not here to preach to you about giving up all the things that you love, that make you feel nice. What I'm here to talk to you about, though, and to myself, because I still have that coffee addiction, is to consider it. Throughout my low-carb journey here, guys, of 4 years, carnivore and keto eating, I definitely have considered giving up coffee. Now, I'm not there yet, but I have definitely also tried lessening it on some days just to see how it feels, and I didn't even die. I'm still here. I could afford to give it up for good. Maybe you can follow me on this journey and you can see if I actually can give up coffee. I do want to mention another thing that we are addicted to when it comes to beverages is the sweet taste, of course. Now, this could be just sweetener. This could be stevia, Sweet and Low, Splenda, whatever you put in your coffee. Some people do the syrups. And, I want you to rethink those syrups, guys. If you're on keto and it says there's no carbs, that may be true. But there's a lot of ingredients in there that your body doesn't like. And they just really haven't done a lot of studies on this. So it tends to be acceptable. Please rethink your syrups if you are putting them in your coffee or in your food. Sweeteners can jack you up big time, and that's why I hate diet soda the most. That's why I don't care for the Gatorade Zeros and the Zero anything. Crystal Light is probably the least problematic of the drinks that people consume while they're trying to lose weight. But if you have to transition over to Crystal Light before you go to your water, maybe you can use that to get off of diet soda. And that's a good tip. I just want to point out before I go, guys, that beverage addiction is nothing to be ashamed of. You can do so much better if you try to implement some of these changes. I can tell you from experience of drinking for 30 years straight and loving alcohol that taking it out of my life has improved things for me so greatly that I can't even begin to explain it in this video. Check out a couple of my other videos about alcohol where I go into more detail. But if you are on your health journey, I just want to tell you it's okay if you have a beverage addiction and you can admit it in the mirror to yourself, face it, and realize it's just a bad habit that you run to because you think it makes you feel better somehow. We may not be where we want to be in our life. We have some goals we'd like to achieve, and we may have some childhood memories that we want to forget about. and we may think that we can never lose weight. And running to some of these beverages, believe it or not, is some kind of soothing hug to ourselves to try to get us to feel better somehow, and is linked to the brain. It has to do with the connection between your taste on your tongue and the neurons in your brain, but it does nothing for your body if it is not water. And I will tell you, taking alcohol as being the most addictive beverage of all out of my life has changed things for me. Completely changed the way I think, how long I can concentrate on things, and ingredients in a lot of these drinks today can affect you in a way you would never ever realize until you take it out of your life. And I want to leave you with this. Water is life. Water started our journey into life when we were in our mother's womb in a pool of water. If you don't believe me, watch a little infant baby take a bath. They're splashing, they're loving it. It's their nature to be one with water because water is life. And it's so cute when they do that. 7 cups a day, I say to start. Replace 1 soda with a water. Try to pull back on the alcohol. If you think you need it, I'm going to tell you, you don't. And you don't need the crappy drinks either. Energy drinks, protein powders, this is not food. So consider this, please. Stick with me every Monday. I have a new show. Please comment. I embrace anything you want to add or ask me. And I would love to talk to you. And thank you for listening to our music. We are Black Eyed Soul. Add it to your cart on Amazon. And we'll see you next time on Love Style. Peace out.